Hey friends, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. Come join me, your host Nicole, for some hope-filled conversations about heartfelt entertainment that makes your heart swing. Hey everybody, welcome to the Swing My Heart podcast. I'm your host Nicole, and today I am very excited to be joined by my good friends Cricket and Tracie from the Dishing with the DonoFANS podcast to talk about Great American Christmas week 1 through 3. So that includes Christmas wreaths and ribbons, a vintage Christmas, and a Christmas castle proposal. Welcome back to the podcast, Cricket and Tracie.
Thank you. We're so excited to be here.
So excited to have y'all back. And I said this before we started recording. You're both one of my favorite people to talk about these movies with. So I'm happy to have y'all back on.
Thank you so much, Nicole. It's an honor, honestly.
Of course. Yeah. Right. And this will be fun. I think we'll have a great time reviewing these movies.
Oh, yes.
So to start off, Christmas Wreaths and Ribbons. It stars Casey Elliott and Kristen Wallet. It was written and directed by Brittany Wiscombe. After a wreath maker hurts her arm, she gets help from a kind neighbor to keep her wreath-making business running during the busy holiday season. As they work together, the pair form an unexpected bond and holiday connection. What were your first impressions on this movie?
Well, my first impression was like making wreaths, that seems like such a seasonal job. So my first question was, does she do them all year round, or does she just do them around that particular time of the year for Christmas? Yeah, so that was my first impression. And then because it was the Christmas time, you didn't really get a sense of that until that was my first impression.
I think my first impression, or one of them, is where can we take wreath making classes, because that would be so much fun.
Yes. I actually, when I was working for the Armed Services YMCA, we had a craft class for the dependent wives. And so we would do all different crafts. And one of the things that we did one time was wreaths. And it is a lot of fun because you can be so creative with all the fake flowers and, and the ribbons, little like pieces of anything that you can stick in there, and hot glue, anything with a hot glue gun is like the best.
Yes.
You can hot glue a lot of stuff on a wreath. I mean,
yes.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if y'all have seen this movie. It's on Hallmark, so another network, but I got Christmas in Love with Daniel Lissing and Brooke Dorsey vibes from this movie, because in that one, there's a bakery and Brooke's character makes wreaths on the side.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's right. I didn't even really think about that, but yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that correlation there.
Yes. Yeah. But she works at the bakery, and of course, Daniel's character, his dad, is the CEO of the bakery, I think.
Yeah.
Or the president. So, he's basically her boss at the bakery.
That's awesome.
Yeah. One of my favorite Hallmark movies.
That was a good one.
Yeah. What were some of your first impressions, Tracie?
I kind of thought the same thing about the wreaths that Cricket mentioned at first. But then my mom had a neighbor that used to live across the street from her, that she made wreaths year round. So they were seasonal wreaths. So she had Easter wreaths and fall wreaths and summer. So I was like, okay, yeah. So from a practicality standpoint, you could make a sustainable business of doing wreaths. But then, I was like, how are they going to make this work? It wasn't my favorite. I don't know. I didn't feel the chemistry between the two main characters as much. But, there's nothing against the
not at all. I agree. I do think the script was well written, and I thought it had a great cast and great directing. So yeah, that was my other first impression. And a lot of these movies I always enjoy on Great American Family. They always do a great job.
Oh yeah, I think it just took a little minute to like warm up to them first. And I think,
Yeah.
I think after it kind of got going,
Yeah.
I guess for me too, like her character, I kept thinking of her being on County Rescue. So for me, it was a little hard to transition her from that show to this show.
Okay.
So for me,
Yeah.
that was another thing I was thinking about when I first started watching it. So
Yeah.
I actually have yet to watch County Rescue. I need to.
yes, it's actually a really good show.
I'll have to check it out because I know they just finished filming season 2.
Yeah.
I think I
Yep.
saw. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that'll be coming out next year. So I need to catch up before season
Yes.
2. So I'm not behind.
I know she's telling me that because I'm still behind in the postables.
You need to watch. You need to watch.
I am. I love the very first one I watched, so I'm gonna catch up. I promise.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. You started watching it.
I did. I did.
Yes. Have you had a chance to watch any more
Not
episodes
yet.
yet?
I wait for that right day and that right moment, but it hasn't came yet.
Okay. Anyway, moving on to our highlights, which are things you liked about the movie, any standout scenes. Would y'all like to share any of yours?
I liked how persistent the main male character was, and I can't remember his name,
Jason.
about trying to help her out and just being genuine about it.
Yeah.
I mean, he was really trying hard, but she was being all stubborn pants about it and stuff. But I really like just how like he really wanted to help her. So I thought that was sweet. I mean,
yes, I love not Rebecca falling, but I loved after she fell how he helped her, and she was being all stubborn and she's like, no, I don't need to go to the doctor, I'm fine. And he's like, no, you're not fine. You're going to the doctor.
Yeah, he wasn't taking that as an answer at all.
Nope. No. I also loved the friendship with Rebecca and Angie. I thought they had a nice dynamic. And the dynamic with Jason and his family, the brother-sister relationship with Jason and Miranda, I thought was nice. I actually would have liked to have seen more scenes with them. He and his sisters. That would have been nice.
Yeah. Yes, I think so too.
Yeah.
One of the highlights for me was, or I guess I should say the pivotal moment for me was when he finally is in the shop with her, helping her, and she is being so stubborn, and he's trying to sweep the floor, and she's just like, like almost getting like upset.
Annoyed.
He's not doing what she wants him to do. And I'm thinking, he's not a mind reader. He's there to help you, not to, he told what to do. He's a grown man, but she had her ways and she was used to being independent. And I get that. But, there comes a point when you only have one arm, you got to let somebody help you.
Inner control was on like overload.
Yeah. I like when she goes to grab the broom and he's like, don't pick up the broom. Don't do it.
Yep.
Don't do it.
He knew exactly what she was going to do.
Yep. Also, Rebecca's relationship with her parents, I thought was nice. I would have loved to have seen more scenes with them. And the woman that plays Rebecca's mother, I love her. She was in Haul Out the Holly. She played Jared's mom. So Wes Brown's character's mom.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. In both of them, of course. Yeah. She's great. Laura Wardle.
Yeah, I loved all those relationships, and you're right. They only kind of highlighted them a little bit, but it would have been nice to see a little bit more behind the scenes. But I think the way the movie went, though, it played out pretty well as far as the moments that they had and the time they had to put everything in there.
Also, Angie's slight matchmaking for Jason and Rebecca, especially at the scene in the church when she's pushing them to go to the nativity art show.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She's like,
And
you're
I
gonna
think
be
her friend Angie too is trying, wasn't she? Like trying to drop hints kind of
there. I think
subtly,
so.
saying, don't you think he might like you? And she's like, what? Like she was just
Mm-hmm.
really wasn't getting that.
Nope, not at all. A kind of comical moment for me was when Jason and Miranda and Joyce were at the bakery and they were talking about the peppermint cream pies. And,
Oh,
you know, Jason was not giving a specific answer, and Miranda was like, you are so diplomatic. It's annoying.
Yes. He's Mr. Switzerland, as I called him.
yeah. He
That
was
would
in
be me.
a difficult place. I mean,
Hmm.
Yeah. He would get
he'd
in
still
trouble either
offend
way.
somebody.
That would be me. I would be like, no, I'm not picking one. They're
No,
both good.
he can't. That would be a rivalry that they would never forget at that point, or an
Oh
Mm-mm.
my
answer
goodness.
they would never let him live it down.
Nope. Have either of you ever had peppermint cream pie? I have not.
No.
I have not, and I know I'll probably hear slack for this, but I don't like peppermint.
I don't
Okay.
either. I don't either.
I don't like mint.
It's
I don't like peppermint. The only thing mint I like spearmint. That's it. Um, I don't like anything peppermint. Now I will eat a candy cane every now and then, but that's it.
okay.
That's
It's all
it.
good. I love peppermint,
I
but it's
like
all
mint
good.
some, but I don't like any mint flavored
Mhm.
food or
Yeah.
drinks. I
It's
don't
all
know.
good.
I
Yeah.
did as a
Don't
kid, but
either.
not now. I don't
Isn't
Yeah.
know.
that funny though? I mean, it's so true though, Tracie. I can't. I can do one. The candy canes are about the only peppermint thing I can eat. That's
Yeah.
it. Everything else, and licorice too. I can't do licorice either.
Ugh.
Ugh, uh-uh.
I hate black licorice. No, I'll
I
eat
don't
cherry
like any of it.
strawberry, but black licorice, no, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I think one of my favorite scenes was when they were at her shop and he was complimenting her drawings, and she's explaining the process or the new
Yeah.
process, and then we get the montage of them working on the wreaths, and
Mhm.
then Rebecca's talking about making wreaths for other seasons, and he's talking about working at his family's bakery and how he went to school for accounting and that he wants to also start his own restaurant. I think that was a nice moment.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think they really got to know each other a little bit better in
Yeah.
those scenes. It was nice.
Yes.
It was nice.
One of my top favorite scenes was when they were at the church and they had that conversation after they saw Pastor Kevin
Mm-hmm.
about
Mhm.
why Rebecca doesn't like depending on other people. So, a little backstory. She used to want to be an interior designer and she was paired with someone, a guy named Neil, and several people were coming up with designs for a tech company's headquarters. She
Mm-hmm.
worked so hard coming up with styles and themes and throwing them out until she had the best. She showed it to Neil, and he
Mhm.
said he would help her fine tune it, but instead, he took her work and turned it in as if it were his. It launched his career and left her behind. Not
Yeah,
cool.
very not.
Scoundrel.
Yeah,
Not cool.
Not cool at all.
very not cool. I would have fought that though. I don't think she fought it. I would have fought that.
Mm-hmm. Cheating. We have a
Right?
cheater on our
Right?
hands.
Obviously, it's not right.
No. I mean, I've never experienced that in a group project that I can remember, but that's why I don't like group projects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because someone could take your work.
Oh
That's-
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happens all the time. Believe me, I had
Mm-hmm.
my brother-in-law. He worked for a computer company and he created some chip. And it was a long time ago, and he's no longer with us. But he created this chip and his company stole it. I think he signed something, but at the same
Oh,
time, it wasn't like 100%, you know, and he didn't realize it till later on.
uh,
Yeah.
So it stinks,
yeah.
but it happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I have been in group projects when I was in school where other people in my group weren't carrying the weight and I was doing the work.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's not fun either.
No, it's not.
Well, Miss Night
No.
Owl over there, I'm surprised. Or I'm not surprised, I should say. No, I'm just kidding you. They shouldn't have done that. But
No.
you were an overachiever, I can tell already, so I know why you did it.
You should see some of the school projects I had to do.
Oh, I can imagine. I can
Like,
have that drive.
oh, thank you. But going down a rabbit hole for a second, I think it was in my 8th grade Latin class. We were learning about, I don't even remember what it was. Something related to the Greeks and the Romans. And we had to build like 3-dimensional designs, I think, of buildings.
Oh, wow.
And I chose Marcellus, and I still have the Marcellus 3D project somewhere
I love that.
in my house.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Spent hours on
that though. Yeah, absolutely.
Not by myself. Of course, my mom and dad did help me a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, that took a ton of time.
Yeah, I bet.
We still joke about it to this day.
I remember when I was in high school, we did relief maps and I had to do all that salt dough and water and make the mountains and then like label it all, paint it, and put toothpicks and all that. Oh my gosh, it took me.
Oh, wow.
Yes. I also love the scene with Jason and Rebecca when he shows her where he wants his restaurant to be. And then she gives her input and encouragement about him opening the restaurant.
Yeah. I thought that was a special little scene there.
Yeah.
Especially, and then I don't think she still understood that he was showing her because he likes her. You know what I mean? Like he was sharing so much of himself, getting vulnerable, and she still wasn't getting it.
She was just in denial.
Yeah, I think.
Yes, she even talks about in the scene not too long after that to Angie, unrequited love, and Angie's like, it's not unrequited love.
It's requited love.
That's right. Totally was.
Yeah.
She wasn't getting it though. I mean, I was like, man, did he have to take the broom and maybe smack her with it before she gets it? I mean, I don't know.
What would you both classify this romantic trope as? Because I don't know. It's not enemies to lovers. I wouldn't say it's necessarily 100% friends to lovers either.
No. I would say, I don't know. That's a good question.
Strangers to lovers. I don't know.
Neighbors to lovers.
Maybe.
Did they know each other?
Just being neighbors. That's it.
Just being neighbors. That's all. They didn't really know each other that well. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I just watched it this past weekend, but I'm trying to remember the beginning of how they started, like the backstory to how they started talking, because I know like she fell and he helped or whatever, but like
yeah, they weren't really
remember now. I jotted something down somewhere about her criticism of his family, like parking
the car,
and then his mom, in my opinion, had this like really kind of rude reaction, like, well, whatever, like she doesn't like us parking. Well, yeah, because you're blocking her driveway potentially. Right. She has every right to not be happy about that. Why are you like,
right?
That just struck me as odd, and I was like, this mom's a little bit of a monster right now, in my opinion.
A little like, high maintenance, maybe.
Just a little.
Like, come on. Like you on the road, you're the one blocking this woman's driveway. Like maybe be a little bit more considerate instead of just complaining that she's complaining about it. Like whatever.
Yeah.
She had issues.
Yeah. I also loved Jason and Rebecca wrapping gifts together, and he's helping her wrap, I think, her parents' gifts. And she gives him the noise canceling headphones she's going to give to her dad. And I thought that was a nice moment.
Yes. Excuse me. That was a nice moment.
Yeah.
that scene.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, those noise canceling headphones, you can't hear a thing.
Oh, I know. My son had a pair. You can't really. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, even like the earbuds that are noise canceling, they are pretty good too. I mean, I can go mow my
Yeah.
grass, barely hear my lawnmower. So
The Christmas fair, and then Jason and Joyce's conversation at the bakery when she basically gives her blessing for him to open the restaurant. That was a sweet mother-son moment.
Yeah.
yes, that was a very sweet moment. And I was thinking the whole time, did you talk to Dad before you did this?
I was wondering that too.
Because if we didn't see that conversation, I want to know what went down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And of course, I love the end when they express their feelings for each other and they kiss. Happily ever after.
Yes.
For my
Good.
next segment, which is hopes, that is anything maybe you didn't like about this movie or that you wished for. Do y'all have anything you would like to share for this?
Go ahead, Tracie. If you got something, I got to think on this one because
Or something you would do different or something you wish were different about the movie?
I think for me, I wish that they would have had like stepped away from, I know they went back to his restaurant or bakery or whatever. I wish they
Mm-hmm.
would have went out to the environment more to where they could have been more
Yeah.
themselves in a sense,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like they only interacted mainly, I mean, they did at his house that one time when he had dinner or
Mm-hmm.
whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but like in a different environment other than their own workspace, because I feel like
Yeah.
you still stay, trapped in your mindset or
Mm-hmm.
things, you know what I mean? Like I just don't feel like
Mm-hmm.
you break away from that when you're in that space. I mean, I could be totally wrong on that, but that
Yeah.
was one thing I had hoped that maybe they would do, like some Christmas
Yeah.
shopping together, something
That's a
different,
good point. Yeah. I agree with that.
You're right. There is always an element in all of these movies where people are shopping together and drinking whatever mysterious beverages in the
Mm-hmm.
to-go cups.
Yeah.
Don't get me started on that. Yeah,
Oh my
I
goodness.
could probably talk for an hour about that. But yeah, I don't know.
I think
Yeah.
they should have an episode where one of these, times, instead of them getting the Cool Whip or the whipped cream on their nose or the flour on their face, that they literally like spill it all over somebody else.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh my gosh, instead of the couple being in the moment, put it
Mm-hmm.
on another character or another couple or something.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
I think that would be like, I think that would be awesome.
Yeah. Two other things I would mention for my hopes is maybe Rebecca not being so stubborn or uptight in the beginning. I mean, I can understand it was probably part of the
Right.
storyline, which is okay. It didn't take anything away from the movie, but I would still maybe tone that down just a little bit more than what we
Yeah.
got. And also the misunderstanding and conflict I thought was maybe a little predictable, but that's okay.
I did like how he used the pie though to get her to understand that she
Mm-hmm.
needed to let go of the reins a little. I did like
Yes,
that.
agreed.
I
Yeah.
did think that was very clever,
Yeah.
a scene there.
Yes, I think so too. What would you both give this movie for our ratings for a cast on a scale of 1 to 5?
One is the best or five the best?
5 is the best.
Five's the best. Okay. Um, honestly, I love both of these,
Mm-hmm.
characters. I love
Yeah.
the people that played them, the actors and
Mm-hmm.
actresses, but I didn't feel the chemistry was there. Tracie mentioned that
Okay.
earlier.
Yeah.
So I would have to say probably, and I hate to say this, but probably like a 3.5.
Okay. Yeah. I gave the cast and the chemistry between Casey and Kristen, especially, a 4. It didn't blow me away, but it wasn't terrible either. It
Right,
was
right.
kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And then setting out of 5.
Setting out of
Because
five, I probably would
yeah.
go 4. I mean, I thought it was a different take on a Christmas
Yeah,
movie,
I did
with a
too. Yeah.
different kind of feel. So yeah, I
Yeah.
would give that a 4.
And then story. So that's the writing, of course. for the movie.
I mean, I think the writing was great. I think that the way the storyline, how it started and how it led up to, her hurting her arm and then, having her need somebody and he happened to be there at the right place in the right time. So I think writing was great. I mean, I would probably give the rating a 5.
Okay. I gave it 4, but yeah, 5's good too. 4 is very good for me. And then overall,
I would say I'd probably still maybe a 3.5 still. I know I rated the one higher, the writing, but I still think it was a good movie. It wasn't like you say, it didn't blow me away, but I wasn't disappointed either.
No,
I was just kind of like cute. It wasn't me like, oh my God, that was such a great movie. And I hate to be like that, but that's my honest opinion.
Yeah. Oh, we want honest opinions on this podcast.
Yes.
Or I want honest opinions on this podcast.
Yes.
But even if it's constructive criticism, everyone should watch the movie for themselves and decide
absolutely
what they like about it or don't like about it.
Watch it. I want to rewatch it again, try to pick up on more things that maybe I missed. Because, when you're trying to watch these, sometimes you're like watching it, not looking at specific things. So to rewatch it again too, to see if maybe my rating would go up any higher.
Yeah, mine was 4 out of 5 overall. It was a good movie. I enjoyed it. And I loved the cast. They were all great. So yeah. Great movie. Everyone go check it out.
What do you think, Tracie?
Giving it a 3.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah.
I mean, the chemistry for me, again,
it wasn't
there. And I think part of the chemistry was because of how stubborn her character was. And
I get that.
That I wish they had scaled that back some. I don't think that you need to go full throttle on that to have that whatever feeling in the actor at the time. And I, at some point, I was just like, stop being so stubborn and just
I know, me too. Yeah.
You can craft the story in other ways without all of this angst, and it could still be enjoyable. But to me, it did kind of take away from it a little bit. So
yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, that's a fair rating.
Yeah, I mean none of us are experts,
right? No, not at all. No,
my opinion means 0 at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter.
We're just giving constructive criticism, and that's good. Because you always want things to be the best they can be. So moving on to A Vintage Christmas from week 2, which stars Christopher Russell and Merritt Patterson. It was written by Jennifer Snow and directed by Colin Buds. Sparks fly when a developer, Noah, arrives in Oak Creek with plans to replace an abandoned post office with a modern office complex and needs to work with Tessa, the town's historian and preservationist, to compromise. What were your first impressions on this movie, Cricket and Tracie?
Go ahead, Tracie.
Oh, goodness. I like the preservationist aspect.
Me too.
A lot of the story took place either in a historic building or the library, which is near and dear to my heart as a librarian. But yeah, there were some things that did not work for me.
I totally get it. Yeah. Okay, so my first impression, signed, sealed, delivered Redux because of the post office and the letters. And that's not an insult, I promise. You both know how much I love Signed, Sealed, and I think everyone listening knows how much I love the show. So yes, that's not an insult to the show or this movie. It was great. I really enjoyed it.
It did kind of have that feel to it, like, with the post office and the letters. And I agree with you. It did kind of give that kind of feel.
Yeah, I thought the writing and the acting and the directing were great. I loved all the cast. And a message I really got from this movie was cherishing what's really important, which is family, community, and traditions. And then also, this is a quote, I think, from one of the characters: wishes come true when you need them the most.
Oh,
Mhm.
I don't remember that, but I'm just go back and look for that. I'm sure I heard it watching it, but
It was from the character Greg when Tessa and Noah gave him and his son the hockey
oh
tickets.
yes, you're right. I do remember that now.
And my last first impression for this movie is Darla the best friend, Lindsay Sterling's twin. And Lindsay Sterling is the popular violinist. And this is a photo of Lindsay Sterling. Literally,
Oh,
Yeah, she does look like her.
oh
yeah,
my gosh.
literally could be her twin.
Yes.
If y'all have not heard her stuff, you should go check it out because she's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, I've heard of her, but I don't know that I've heard
Yeah.
her performances.
One of her most popular songs, of course, that she does on the violin is, I think it's the Christmas song that's like, I can't remember the name of it, the dun 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 dun.
Oh yeah.
Carol of the
Oh,
Bells. That's
yeah,
it.
Carol
Carol
of
of
the-
the Bells. Yeah. Yeah, she's amazing. She is
Mhm.
so
I love
talented.
violinists. I love when they it's so
Yeah.
good. I love it.
There's
Yeah.
something special about that
Yes.
type of
Mhm.
music.
So for highlights, moving on to this segment, would y'all like to go first and share anything you liked about the movie?
I think for me, my favorite part about the movie, I mean, there was a lot of good scenes. My favorite part is that they found these old letters.
Mm-hmm.
I love anything that has to do with history, especially love
Yes.
letters or, like letters
Mhm.
from military people who,
Mhm.
it
Yeah.
happened to them in the war. And then those letters get sent on, and then people
Mhm.
get them later or find them in their attic later, or somebody in the family
Mhm.
finds them. I just love that aspect of that. So
Me
that's
too.
really, I thought that was so, and I think they have that in some movies in some aspect, but letters from children, that's very
Mhm.
touching. Very touching.
Yeah. And another reason why I got signed, sealed, delivered vibes from this Christmas movie is because in the signed, sealed Christmas movie, I won't spoil it too much since you haven't gotten to this one yet, but they have a Dear Santa project that they
That's really
do
cool.
in the movie. Like they gather letters that kids have written to Santa and they try to, I guess, help them make their Christmas wishes come true, like in this movie.
Wow.
I won't spoil it, but it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Although I
It's
love
on
them
my
all.
Yes.
One thing I liked about this movie, or one of the things, is the enemies to lovers trope. I thought they did it pretty well. Of course, we have the corporate guy coming in trying to destroy or tear down the building, and then the person
Been there,
in
done
town.
that.
Yep. The historical element I loved, which you also mentioned, cricket, and then the wardrobe. I loved the wardrobe, especially the period costume that she had, that Tessa had.
Yes, when she's going to court or whatever. Yes, I thought that was a really cool
Yes.
outfit.
The B story with Brad and Darla, I thought was really sweet. Their romance. We didn't get a whole lot of scenes with them, but I think the ones that we did get were great.
Yes, they were a cute little couple.
Yeah. I love them all, but one of the ones that stood out was when they were talking about the love languages. And, she was like, say something nice about me. And
It reminds me of the Love Languages book.
Yeah.
I've seen that.
Yes. Yes.
I don't have it, but I've seen it.
I have the book somewhere. I don't have it in here with me, but I have that book.
That's awesome. Only because I write fan fiction.
I love it. That's awesome.
That's why I've seen it.
Mhm.
And then Darla reading Brad's poem. I thought that was a really sweet scene too. The friendship with Tessa and Darla, and then Noah and Brad. Now, we didn't get a lot of scenes with them, but I thought the ones that we did get, again, were nice. And I just have to say, Tessa using the bookmark with Noah's picture as a coaster, that was hilarious.
Oh, it's good.
At the beginning.
Yes.
When Darla holds it up and she's like, well, he is kind of cute. And she's like, no.
No.
You're
Yep.
using my coaster.
That's right. Now on it goes. Yep. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Can we talk about that town meeting?
Oh, yes. Yes. I thought it was great. He was also like, into the moment, and then she comes in and he's like looking at her like, who is this coming up in here? And then she just starts going to town.
She's like, and he turns to the mayor and he's like, I thought we were saving questions until the end. And he's like, well, she is the town historian. I think we should hear what she has to say.
Yes. I like how he would conflict his answers though. Well, she's got a point. Well, he's got a point. Like, like he was taking sides with both of them.
Uh-huh. Yep. And then when she holds up the blank piece of paper to prove that she has the injunction, that was hilarious.
She goes, well, it's not really here, but I do have it.
I do have the injunction.
Yeah.
And then everyone votes for them to collaborate, and they are like not happy at all.
Yeah, she's definitely not happy. He wasn't happy either, but she was really not happy.
Oh yeah.
No, Tessa even turns
wait a minute,
Darla.
why did you do that? Yes.
It's like, why do you do that? Why did you do that?
It seems like something I would do if my best friend was like, in this thing and he looked cute like that. I'd be like, oh no, you're gonna collaborate with him.
She even said it when they were walking out. She was like, oh, he's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite scenes was when they are outside the theater and they're talking on the bench about her parents and why he got into design and why the post office is so important to her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a really, I think that scene really brought them a little closer together, and
I think so too.
Yeah, to the point where they are kind of let their guard down a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. She said that it used to be a hub for the community and the people. People got married there. They would host community picnics every summer. And I think she also mentioned how, some of the older men would sit on the bench and talk about what's going on in town. And that was really sweet.
Yeah, that scene I kind of pictured like old time 1940s, 1950s.
Yeah, so, I did too.
Imagining that scene when she was talking about that. I'm so sorry. Yes. My dog is barking.
It's all good. Also, Tessa telling Noah about her grandfather. That was one of my top favorite scenes in the movie.
Yes. I think she should have came out with that, first and foremost, so he would have a little bit better understanding of why she was holding on to it so much. Besides her being a historian and preservationist, like if she would have come out with that in the beginning, I think that would have been probably better for her.
Yeah. George Finley is his name. He was a town postman for almost 60 years. He never took a sick day or a vacation and refused all his retirement incentives. He said delivering letters is the equivalent of spreading Christmas joy. And Tessa helped him deliver the mail every now and then. And she would even skip school sometimes to do that.
Right.
She would play sick.
Cool, as a kid, your dad's or your grandfather's the postman. Like, that's awesome.
Yes. Sounds like another character that we know and love.
True.
Oliver O'Toole.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Very true.
I won't spoil it, but yeah. And other characters. Okay. Cough, cough. That I can't wait for you to meet in the movies.
I know. I'm gonna have to watch it now. For sure.
This was kind of a comical moment, and it is, I think, their first talk after the town meeting when he's talking about wanting to spread Christmas cheer. Now, that part wasn't comical. That was sweet. And she agrees to help him. And then this is the part that made me laugh. When he brings up a new office for her and he says, if you're looking for more office space, I know just the building. And she's like, don't push it, Mr. Harrington. Don't mistake my kindness and cooperation as a weakness.
Yeah.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Yes. Yes.
I thought their banter was great in this movie.
Mhm.
Like the
I thought it was
snarkiness
pretty good.
in the
Yeah.
beginning. Yeah.
I thought it was pretty good. One of the things that I just kept looking at was when he would be in the post office. It doesn't really have to go with the bantering part, sorry.
No,
But I just couldn't get past the way the boards were on the windows.
Yes.
Oh,
It just
yeah, I didn't even notice that.
no, I
brought it
just and
up.
I don't know why I picked up on it. I don't know. But
I
it
couldn't
just
stop looking at it.
no, I know, and I don't know why. Like, I don't know why that is. Like, I'm not trying to be, downplaying the scenes or
no.
anything, but
Not
there
at
was
all.
just something about how they were on the windows, and I don't know what it
It's
was.
not how we board windows nowadays.
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
No, I honestly
Yeah.
think it looked like maybe how somebody would have boarded windows in 1940, but if a building is condemned and whatever, that's not how you're boarding a window. I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe that building, was, or that scene or that place was, obviously it was probably a real place, but maybe that's how they had to do it to make it look like it was boarded up, and maybe that's the case.
Maybe.
But
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I just couldn't stop seeing the window things.
I didn't
just
even
couldn't.
think about that
It looked
until you
janky.
brought it up. Yeah. That's a good point.
What'd you say, Tracie? I'm sorry. What?
I said it just looked janky to me. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll have to go back and watch. Yeah.
I don't know, and it's weird because I kept imagining this building being condemned, like you said, Tracie, and or I think what it was, honestly, was the windows looked more dilapidated than the rest of the building or the inside of it. So
Okay,
I think
I see.
maybe what it was they didn't distress the walls enough or something around the windows and that. And I think maybe that's why, to me, I was zoning in on those.
Okay.
Possibly.
Yeah, I get it. I'll have to go back and watch next time because I didn't even catch that. But yeah, that's a good
I
point.
don't know. I end up seeing weird details sometimes, and it's kind of hard for me to not see at some point. So I don't know.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah. When I watch movies, I am very detailed too, like you, Tracie.
Well, and it's hard to focus on
Yeah.
everything, obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, watching what the actors are doing in the scene, but these scenes are the backdrops of the scenes are meant to draw your attention too.
Yeah.
Because that's why the movies are special in a lot of ways. You're looking at whatever seasonal scenery and it's supposed to put you in that element. So I end up looking at that stuff, like some of the other movies we have watched where like the fall decor exploded all over the house. Nobody decorates their house like that. Maybe 5 people in the country, but nobody decorates their house like that. So I'm like, this is not realistic. Like this can be a social environment without going just on steroids with the decorations. I just think it's crazy pants, but
that's my well. Now that you say that, Tracie, I think that's maybe part of the problem is the one scene shows all the post office memorabilia on one wall, but then when it goes over the other one, there's nothing hardly on the wall. And maybe that's it. Maybe that's what was why it was like me zoning in on it. That could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and I've got issues with the library too.
I get it.
I'm a librarian. I've been a librarian for 20 years, and too many things about the library backdrop were just not great.
I get it.
I'm like, if you're going to do it, try to do it like correctly-ish. We don't stack books horizontally in a library. No, that's just not, I mean, unless it's on some sort of special display, they're all upright. And they all have spine labels with call numbers on them. And these books did not have anything. And I'm like,
okay,
that looks like a bookstore, not a library.
Yeah,
So there were some things that just kind of made me nuts where I'm like, if you're going to do it, just
Try to do it accurately.
Quote somebody or actually walk into a library and see how it. And again, like I know that's not the whole point of the movie, but again, the environment and the atmosphere is important to a certain extent. So be right.
Yeah, try to do it more accurately. Yeah. Of course, I loved every scene with Noah and Tessa reading the Dear Santa letters and helping grant the Christmas wishes. We had, I mentioned this one earlier, but Greg and his son Dylan with the hockey game tickets, giving Kim, who works at the coffee shop, a trip to Florida to visit her boyfriend who's in the military. And, you know, he's on a base in Florida, a military base. And then Jillian performing on a stage at a Christmas-themed open mic night. And Jillian had always wanted to move to Nashville and be a musician. I thought that was sweet, too.
They are sweet. To go back to the one that was in the coffee shop, I remember the opening scenes when he's trying to get his coffee.
And she wouldn't give it to him.
No, we don't
have any. No.
I thought that was great.
We don't have any. The first time I watched, I was confused why she wasn't giving him coffee.
I know, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yes. I just like
there's been like a big bad developer guy coming in.
Yeah.
That person's identity or affiliation to what the negative isn't immediately known. So they're like, oh, here, let me help you. And then they find out, and then they're like, no, you're not getting any coffee. This was probably one of the first times where it started off the bat with that no. So that was funny.
Yeah. It didn't take long for me to figure out, that's why.
Yes, that's what I did too. I'm like, oh, now I get it.
He's the guy that
he's the one. It reminded me of kind of like You've Got Mail when he's the big bookstore coming in. And they refused. I can't remember. What was it that didn't somebody refuse him or she refused him in the bookstore or something? I can't remember, but it kind of reminded me of that. It had those vibes.
I love that movie. I have not watched that in forever. It's such a good one.
Yes.
I need to watch it again.
Bouquets of sharpened pencils.
Yes.
Yeah. It's such a good rom-com.
It is.
Hugh Grant and what's the
Meg Ryan?
Name? Meg Ryan. Yes, that's right. Her name was drawing a blank. I knew it was Meg something.
Tom Hanks. Yeah, Tom Hanks.
Oh, Tom Hanks. Sorry. What am I saying? Why am I saying Hugh Grant?
It's all good. He's equally delightful. So.
Yeah, because I was about ready to say, oh, Hugh Grant and what's her face? Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of. That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Yep.
I also loved the scene when they are gift wrapping, and then the one after that with Santa's workshop. I thought that was nice. And that decor they had set up for those scenes was awesome.
Yeah, no, I thought they did a really good job in those scenes, to create this space of like Santa's Wonderland in a sense, or Christmas Wonderland. I thought that was really cool. And how they had them all come to that location.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute.
And in that first scene, he's talking about how he used to volunteer as a teen at a Christmas donation center. They put together gift baskets and he was in charge of wrapping toys.
Yeah.
And he mentions the best part was delivering the gifts and seeing the looks on people's faces. I was not expecting him to say that.
Yeah.
The first time I watched. I'm not going to lie.
No, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of times these characters don't have that softer whatever
in
their background. It's usually just, I was raised in this cold, hard environment and I took over the family business as my dad did, and kind of, so.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised by his character because from the very beginning, you started to see that he was that soft guy. I'm like, okay, something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Like this
made him more likable.
Yes.
Earlier on.
Yes.
Because sometimes these develop, like the first hour of the movie, you're just kind of wanting to throw sharp objects at them because they're being, persistent and mean. And this was not the case.
No. Yeah, I didn't really classify him as a Scrooge, but yeah, I never expected him to say
Right.
that he used to volunteer at a
Yeah.
Christmas donation center.
Yeah. I think it's really cool. I wish I did
Yeah.
more stuff as a child to do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
I always love doing stuff like that at Christmas. I've never done that in particular, but we normally try to donate a shoebox to Operation Christmas Child, I think is what it's called.
Yep.
With Samaritan's Purse. Yeah.
Yeah. I've done that before.
That's cool.
Yeah. We haven't done it in a couple years, but it's always fun to do it when we do send one. Yeah.
I know. Now you're going to inspire me. I have to do something this Christmas.
Yeah. I loved the Christmas open mic night and them surprising Jillian and then her performing "Oh Come All Ye Faithful." She actually has a nice voice.
Yeah. Wasn't too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that I'm a judge by any means, because, you know,
No.
I'm not. It was nice to see that thrown in there in the mix of all the other wishes and things. So I thought that was really cool.
And that is one of my favorite Christmas songs.
Silent Night is my all-time favorite, but
that's one of my favorites.
It's another good one.
Yeah. Oh Holy Night is my
Hark How the
one.
Bells.
I like that one too. Yeah. Oh Holy Night.
That's my number one favorite. But there's so many good Christmas songs out there.
Oh yes. There is. Now that you're saying that, yeah, that may be my favorite. Never mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind.
I'll always associate "Oh Come All Ye Faithful" with my school Christmas play that I was a part of in middle school. My middle school choir. I took music class in middle school, and we had a middle school choir. I think it was 7th and 8th grade, maybe 6th grade too. And we would always perform at the Christmas play, the school Christmas play at historic church in downtown Charleston. It was always a lot of fun. And that was the song, or that was one of the songs that we would sing. And we would sing half of it in Latin and half of it in English.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
That's really cool.
Awesome.
I don't remember all of the lyrics, but I know the Latin version is called Adeste Fidelis. Something like that. I can't pronounce it. Yeah, awesome. Beautiful song. Also, I thought a nice moment was when Noah is reading the letters from people that wrote in their petition to keep the post office.
Yes, that was good. Yeah. I love when they do the excerpts when you're listening to the voice of the people reading the letter or whatever, or the sound of the character reading the letter. I really like when they do that.
Yes, me too. And then the end, of course, when they share their feelings and they kiss again and they live happily ever after.
I love how he incorporated the original building into the new building. I did like that.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
That was great. And then at the end, when he sets up the letters to Santa mailbox.
Yes, and then when he got the bell for her too to ring it, I thought that was so sweet.
I loved that too.
I was hoping he was going to do it in front of the town though.
Yeah, that would have been really sweet too.
Because you know when she was younger and they showed that scene where she was like hoping that she would get to do it, and then she did. You know, I was hoping that he would have took it outside, and then had the whole town there that she's helped over the years. Her grandfather helped, you know, or whatever. Yeah. And then because they had so many traditions in front of it, I was hoping he was going to do that in front of all the town.
Yeah, I kind of felt like they were going to build up to a big reveal for that.
Yes, me too.
I kind of felt like it was anticlimactic the way they did it. And I don't know, but I felt like her reaction should have been a little bit more something.
Yes.
Than it was.
Yeah. No, I agree with you, Tracie. I mean,
she obviously was like, oh, the bell, but given the importance of it to her childhood, I thought she would be like, oh my gosh, you found the bell.
Right.
Oh, sweet.
Yes.
Yeah, like crying and like, if nothing else, just a little bit. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Tracie. I thought so too.
I do too. That was actually one of my hopes or things I wished for in this movie.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any other things you wanted to see in this movie, or that?
I was hoping they would reinstate the post office in the new building.
Yeah. Maybe
I was really hoping that they would.
Maybe we'll just have to get another movie.
I know, right? I mean, I really was. I thought it was such,
Mm-hmm.
it was such a historical part of it, and he was
Yeah.
trying to work with it. And I know he did the front of the building and that, but I'm like, so rent it out to the state. Like, let it continue to be a post office,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
or
Yeah.
maybe an overflow of all the Santa letters that come in every year or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah. Another thing I wanted more of was Tessa giving Wesley Manor house tours. I wish we had actually seen a scene
Oh
with her
yeah,
giving a house tour
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been cool. Yeah.
because I've been on
Mm-hmm.
a house tour, like a
Yeah.
historic house tour at Christmas in downtown Charleston, and it's a lot of fun.
Yes.
I
Oh,
think it
especially in
was,
Charleston. I never got to go on those when I lived in Beaufort. I never got to go and do anything in there, but I bet that was really cool.
you should come to Charleston at Christmas,
I know. Well, I should. My boys were born there.
and we could get together and we could do a historic house tour.
Oh
There
my
we
gosh,
go.
how fun would that be?
I
That
would
would
be
be
down.
awesome.
And Tracie, you can come too.
Yeah, no, I would totally be down for that. I've only been to Charleston once and I loved it.
It was
Just a quick
beautiful.
weekend getaway, but
Yeah.
I would totally be down for that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I did one last year, and
Mhm.
then I did one, I think 2 or 3 years before that.
Mhm.
The first one I did with my mom, and then one of our friends, it was the Edmonston Austin House, I think. And then I can't remember the one we did last year. I would have to look it up, but
Cool.
That's really cool.
yeah, they're
Neat.
always beautiful, decorated for Christmas. And we
Mhm.
get to learn history about, who lived in the homes and
Yeah. I love that stuff.
yes. And actually, I would love to have seen more history about the town itself because we didn't get a lot of that either.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's
in
true.
general.
Only just on the post office part of it. Yeah.
Just the post office, yes. I think my one other hope or something I would have wanted to be different was like in the previous movie, I thought the conflict was a little too predictable.
Mhm.
Like miscommunication. You've got to communicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Talk to
No,
each other.
I almost feel like she should have put up more of a fight. You know what I mean? I feel
Mhm.
like she kind of when they started talking more and
Yeah.
kind of spending more time together, she kind of said, okay, well, I don't know, in the beginning of that
Mhm.
one part of her
Yeah.
kind of going
Mhm.
down on her view or whatever, but then she like said no.
Yeah. But other than
So
that, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was
yeah,
pretty good.
yeah. Oh no, I really enjoyed the movie though. I
Yeah.
really did.
Moving on to our ratings, what would you give the cast out of 5 stars?
Oh, the cast, I love both of them, so they definitely get a 5.
5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
And what about you, Tracie?
Yeah, I would say a
Yeah.
5. I like both of them too.
Yeah. Chemistry. So that's, between Merritt and Chris.
I mean, honestly, I felt like they were more friends throughout the movie than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't like till the very end did I feel like the
Mm-hmm.
chemistry of them getting together was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the friend chemistry more so
Mm-hmm.
than the other, but I think it's because of the scenes they put them in.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, it's weird because I like both of them separately have been very good at developing chemistry with other actors and actresses. I don't feel like it gelled in the same way
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
this. And I don't know, I can't really pinpoint anything particular, but
Yeah.
I almost felt like the chemistry between the secondary characters was more palpable.
Yes. Yes. Me
And
too.
I
the way that storyline evolved kind of casually, but
Mhm.
it definitely felt
Yeah. There was
more.
more interest there in a sense, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, are they going to get together? Because
Yeah.
you're over here looking at the other couple going, okay, well, they're arguing and fighting over whether or not this building, whatever. But this
Yeah.
couple, now they're really hitting the romance here with the poem,
Uh-huh.
love languages, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I agree with you,
Yeah.
Tracie.
I actually agree with y'all too. They didn't have terrible romantic
No.
chemistry.
No,
but
no.
But again, like Christmas wreaths and ribbons, it didn't absolutely blow me away either. Like some particular on-screen couples. I'm sure you know exactly who I'm talking about, Cricket.
I do.
I think you know me well enough to know who I'm thinking in my head.
Yep. Yep.
Two in particular. Actually, three. Make that three. Because I can't not have one without the other.
Yeah, you definitely can't. Nope.
And for anyone listening, I'm sure you know exactly who I'm talking about too. But anyway, setting out of 5.
I thought the setting was really good. I love that it was, a post office and that they were trying to keep it. And, it had some of the same feels of some of the movies. A big developer comes in, he wants to knock something down, that kind of thing. But I think they did a really good job of putting a storyline in there that was a little bit more sensitive, a little bit more history. But yeah, I thought the setting was good. I wish I could have seen the building when it was done, but obviously we can't.
I gave it 3.5 out of 5 only because of the things that were previously mentioned in this episode, like with the windows and the library.
Yeah.
I have to give it a 3. The library kind of killed me.
I get it. Yes.
I would say 3.5 besides those two things, because I really love the post office side of it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
That setting was just, I think for me, when they started showing some of the old pieces that were from that time, uniform and the, and those things, and the bell, of course, they took it out of the drawer.
Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah, that part of it, if it would have been more like that in that one room all the way around, I think I would have given it probably a little bit higher score. But.
Yeah, same. And storyline,
I would say at least 4.5. I really like the story.
4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did like the premise of the movie in general.
Yeah. And overall, I gave it 4.5.
Yeah. I'd go between a 4 and a 4.5. Yeah.
Yeah. It was a good one for Great American Family.
What'd you say, Tracie?
I'm going with the 3.
Going with the 3. I know it's a book thing. I get it, Tracie. I get it.
We get it.
I had higher expectations because of the cast. So in the library stuff was like a detractor for me, but not a monster.
Yeah. I love both of them. So
yes.
I do too. I adore both of them, and I've loved a lot of the other movies that both of them have been in.
Yeah.
With other people. Honestly, for all of this, it could have been the way the editing was done that cut out maybe scenes that could have evoked more of a chemistry. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, you don't know what's left on the cutting room floor at the end of the day.
You don't.
Right.
Tied something up a little bit differently. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And one of my favorite movies with merit was with Daniel Lissing a couple years ago. I think it was 2 years ago, Catering Christmas.
Yes. Catering Christmas, yeah.
That was a fantastic one. Written by Kara Russell. Shout out if you're listening.
I just love the scene. I like that. The scene when she's like, well, get your apron on, let's get busy or whatever. And he's like, okay.
Yes. And he's cutting the celery. It has to be minced. And she's like, who taught you how to hold a knife?
Yeah. Yeah, I love that scene, that kitchen scene in the very beginning. I just love that.
Yep. And then the butler, I think, or the assistant.
Oh, was it the butler or the mom? One of them. I knew one of them.
And he was like, your aunt wants to speak to you. And, she's like, who's your aunt? And then he tells her and she's like, oh, crap. I was just talking smack about his aunt.
Right? But he was a good guy. He didn't say nothing.
No. And actually, speaking of Chris, I think we reviewed Chris's movie on Great American Family together last year.
Yeah, I think we did, actually.
With Laura Ossis.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
That is so funny. I didn't realize that till you just said that. I forgot.
In the best way. In the best way.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Totally not planned, though. I didn't even think about that.
I know, I didn't either, to be honest.
Christmas movies they crank out, it's hard to remember all of them. But I do remember talking about that one last year with you.
Yeah.
So
Chris has a lot of movies this year. I know he's in Aaron and Daniels
Oh,
next
yeah.
week.
oh yeah,
He
he's
plays
all
one
over
of the
the place.
guys. Yeah. One of the main guys. Y'all know I am super excited for that one.
Oh, yeah. I know you
Oh
are.
my
Anything
goodness.
with Aaron Krakow in it. Yep.
Daniel, listen.
And
But
Daniel, yes.
anyway, moving on to our last movie of the night, A Christmas Castle Proposal. It stars Mitchell Burke and Rhiannon Fish. It was written by Sierra Bradshaw and Adrian Powers and directed by Adrian Powers. Despite busy schedules causing distance, Olivia and Prince Alexander travel to Tarovia for Christmas with his family. Clashing cultures between families lead to various mishaps. What were your first impressions on this movie?
My first impression was I couldn't wait to watch it, first of all, because, I love the whole royal movies.
Yeah.
But I was interested to see how it was going to play out. Because I know the last movie wasn't actually a Christmas movie that they were in when they met and whatever. It was like on the island somewhere or something, I remember. So I was curious to see how they were going to play into them going to Tarovia, because it kind of reminded me of another movie I saw with, gosh, who was it? Can't remember the name of it now, but it had one of the famous actresses that played in the one. I cannot remember her freaking name. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that one with the hair and the
I just remember it's the one with Lacey Chabert when she was going with the prince and they
yeah. Yeah, they were dating and they were in like
yes,
Philadelphia.
he was in New York.
Something.
Yes.
Oh, A Royal Christmas with Jane Seymour.
Yes.
Yeah.
It reminded me a little bit about that of that movie. Kind of.
That's a great one.
Yeah, I love that one. That's a great
royal movie.
I like that one too. I like that one. That's one of the few royal ones I actually enjoyed.
Yes. I really enjoyed that one.
There's a handful of royal movies that I love, but I don't love them all.
Yeah. But the chemistry is really good. You can kind of get in. I mean, for me, get past other things. Yeah. That was one where like I felt the chemistry was really good.
It's always fun watching a royal movie. I think I've told you all this before. Maybe. I can't remember for sure. But when Prince William and Kate got married, I was in, what year did they get married? Was it 2012?
I don't even remember.
Possibly.
I'm pretty sure it was 2012. I was a senior in high school. Or maybe it was 2013. I can't remember. But all I know is that my mom got me up at 4:30 in the morning to watch the royal wedding.
Oh.
She had like scones and cupcakes and
that's
tea.
So sweet.
That's awesome.
It was fun. But
you guys did that in the same way that like Cricket and I watched the wedding of Princess Diana.
Yes.
At whatever hour that was on. Like I remember watching that on television. That was the big to do.
Oh yeah. Very big to do.
Oh my goodness.
It was fun. Yeah. I mean, it was fun, but I just remember getting up at the crack of dawn and then having to go to school after that.
Yeah, it's once in a lifetime.
Yeah. I think my first impression is, how can we book a vacation to Tarovia for Christmas and stay in the castle?
Oh, I know. That castle is phenomenal.
I know. I wonder what they filmed that. It was beautiful.
And do they have a slide where you can get on a mattress and slide down like in the Princess Diaries?
The stairways, right? Exactly. Yeah, those stairs were great.
One of my favorite rom-coms that's not Hallmark, The Princess Diaries.
Yeah, that is funny. I love that show. She's so awkward too. I mean, she really comes around. So yeah, that is a good.
Yes,
that is one of my favorite like princess movies or whatever.
Yeah, a princess? Shut up! I beg your pardon.
Yes.
I love how Julie Andrews is like, Mia Thermopolis Rinaldi, Princess of Genovia. And she's like, me? A princess?
Yes.
Shut up! I beg your pardon?
Well, it's funny because I know that line, but it took me a minute because I thought you were saying it to me.
No, I was not saying it to
Like,
you.
oh crap, was she a queen in that one? No, I don't think so.
No, I was not saying that to you.
I was like, wait a minute. I was sitting there going, oh crap, did I say something wrong?
No, not at all. I was quoting the movie.
No, that is a good, that's a good scene right there.
Yeah.
Yes. And they're making a Princess Diaries 3. I don't know if y'all heard that.
Oh, are they? Interesting.
Yes.
Did not know that.
Here's something about that recently. There were some rumblings.
Yeah, it's official. They're making a Princess Diaries 3.
Curious what's going to happen in that one.
I don't know when they're filming. Probably soon, I would think, if it's going to come out in 2025.
Oh, wow.
Well, and Julie Andrews is not getting any younger, so
Right.
I
No.
would hope that they
No.
would be filming sooner than later.
Yes. We can't have Princess Diaries without Julie Andrews.
You
No.
really can't.
Mm-mm.
You really
No.
can't.
And they need to bring Chris Pine back as the love interest.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, back to A Christmas Castle proposal. We digress. The setting and the scenery I thought was beautiful. I thought it was a great script, another great ensemble cast. And one of the messages I took out of this movie was actually a quote from Queen Patricia. When two people love each other, they must find a way.
Yes. I think I like this movie probably better than the other two, to be honest. And not because it's a royal movie. I really felt like it was a very realistic situation to be in for them. Not that I've ever been in a royal relationship, I haven't been.
Yeah.
But, just knowing what we know about royal relationships and the hardships and the timing of everything is so important. I really felt like they conveyed that very well in that movie.
Yeah. And I am quoting Seinfeld. I won't tell you what movie. I won't tell you what character. But there is a quote that reminds me a lot of that one from Queen Patricia. And now I don't think I'm getting it word for word, but love is hard work. It's always trying to find a balance between too much and too little, too high and too low. We never get it perfect, but it doesn't mean we stop trying.
Oh,
yeah. It's very nice.
It's a great quote, and it's very accurate.
Yes, very accurate.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, spot on.
Everyone should take it to heart, even if
true.
it's not a romantic relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
Very true, though.
And I would love a sequel with the royal wedding with this movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I hope they do, because I think there was hints of it on Twitter when they were tweeting last night.
I didn't watch it live.
Yeah, because I even on my tweet I put hashtag a royal wedding. So
that would be awesome.
So we'll see. And I think Donna Fish even said, I volunteer or something along those lines. For the sequel or whatever, for the sequel to it or whatever.
That would be awesome.
She made some kind of a comment about it. Because I saw it afterwards, because I watched it from DVR yesterday, but I saw some of the Twitter comments from the day before.
I have actually yet to see the first one. I still need to watch the first
one. Oh, you
first.
didn't see the first one?
I didn't either.
You need to see the first one because and I don't want to give it away to you, but the dynamic between his mother and Olivia, it's very important that you see the first one and understand why she acted the way she did in this one. Okay.
Yeah, I think I did enjoy this one, but it was a little bit harder to follow, I think, probably because I hadn't seen the first one.
I mean, it didn't really play too much into this one, but that dynamic definitely plays into the second one, the relationship between Olivia and his mother.
Okay. Yeah, it probably would have made more sense if I had seen the first one.
Definitely.
But yeah, I still enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah. It's good.
Oh,
it's a very good movie.
So moving on to highlights, would you like to go first once again and share some things you liked about it?
The one thing I liked was how they put her in situations where she was pulled in 10 different directions. And that's the part that made it so realistic for me as just a human being, let alone somebody royal or somebody going into a royal marriage or family, was she just all of a sudden realized that maybe she didn't want to get married to him.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe it wasn't the right timing for her because she had
Mm-hmm.
all this going on in her life, and then he was never around. And so I think all of those things just kind of came to a head at that
Mm-hmm.
moment. And she knew that she had to do her job, which was,
Mm-hmm.
get online with those people and finish out the Q&A and all of that. And I think that moment for me was like the pivotal moment of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Everything came crashing. How was she going to recover from?
And not the misfortune part of that scene where she's on the live stream, because of course, I don't want anyone to have misfortune, but it did make me laugh when she pretended to have connection difficulties and she's like, I think I'm having bad connection.
I know, I thought that was great. And then she's like reaching around with her hand and like pulling it.
Trying to close the computer without being noticed.
Yeah, that part I did laugh out loud. I was like, oh, poor thing.
And then the second she closes her computer, I think it was her boss called her on the phone.
Yes, and she's like, oh.
And she like swiped up to ignore the call.
Yep, totally swiped up.
Like not doing this right now.
Or whatever. Yes, not today. I'm done.
Like, oh my goodness. I'll just mention this really briefly, but it is worth mentioning. I love the old-fashioned pet names. So every time Prince Alexander called her darling, that was really sweet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It goes back to that chivalry again,
Chivalry is not dead.
No, it is not. I keep telling people that. It better not be.
No.
Yeah, that was so sweet.
Yes.
I think it sometimes can be too much, but I think if it's done in the appropriate way, it's so romantic. So romantic.
Yes, it is very romantic. Yeah, those are my favorite. I loved the wardrobe too. A lot of beautiful outfits. Like some of the everyday outfits she wore, I would totally wear. And then the dress
that dress
at the end.
Gorgeous. The dress was
Yes.
The color of the dress was just
so
beautiful.
It was stunning.
And of course, his attire for the royal banquet was nice too.
Yeah. I have one thing with the wardrobes and all of these Christmas movies, just that I'm observing, watching some of them back to back now, is some of the movies, it seems like the only colors the characters are wearing are like red, white, and green. And like, I realize it's a Christmas movie, but that doesn't mean you can't wear purple or some color. And some of the outfits are just making me nuts because I think I really noticed it in vintage Christmas. Like a lot of the outfits were red or green or some combination, except for the one like crazy plaid color thing that Merritt was wearing, which I'm sorry, I did not like at all. It just screamed 1980s to me for some reason.
I get it. Yeah.
I just, can we branch out with the colors and be realistic? I mean, we walk around in Christmas season and I don't just wear red and green for a month.
No, I don't either.
Away from the Christmas factor.
No, so. I don't either. Yeah.
I'm just being picky.
No, it's all good. That's actually a good point. That is a great point. Yeah. Branch out. You don't have to just wear red and gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I've seen other Christmas movies where they obviously wear other colors and other outfits and things. I didn't understand.
Yeah, I get it. I loved the friendship with Alexander and Winnie, or Winston, and Olivia and Katie. Now, I didn't see a lot of their scenes in the first movie, of course, because I didn't watch the first movie. But from what I can gather, I loved their friendship.
Yeah, their friendship was, you can really see it more in the first one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll definitely have to go back and watch the first one.
Yes. It's, I'm trying to remember back then, he was like his right-hand man for everything. Yes. And I think that's why it was so stressed upon in this movie.
Yeah. I think I do remember watching the very beginning of the first one. And then I think I got distracted with something and I never finished it. But not because I didn't like it. I just never got around to finishing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I enjoyed the scenes that I did see in the first one.
You really have to go back and watch that first one because there's a lot of the history that's behind the scenes that if you knew what was going on in the first one, it would make more sense probably in this.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
Olivia seeing the castle for the first time, that would be me.
Yes.
That would be moi.
Me too.
Yeah.
And okay, being a Disney fan, like a classic Disney fan, I gotta bring this up. When Alexander shows her the library.
Yes. Beauty and the Beast, right?
Yep, I was about to say, you know what I'm thinking? Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
That is my favorite classic Disney movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's Cinderella, but I do like that movie as well. Beauty and the Beast. I like the storyline of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover. That's one of the messages of Beauty and the Beast.
Yep.
So to speak, don't judge a book by its cover. Or a person. Don't judge a person.
Yes. Yes.
Speaking of Beauty and the Beast, I don't know if I've shared this, but when I was a kid, I think it was one of the first times we went to Disney. I had the costume from Beauty and the Beast. So the blue dress that she wears at the beginning with the white apron.
Yeah.
And my costume, I think we bought it at the Disney store. It had a rose like sewn onto the white apron, part of the outfit.
Oh, that's cute.
We went to Disney World this one particular time. I think I was 4. And I refused to take that dress off. I wore it for 4 days straight. I wore it to the park. I slept in it.
Yeah.
Yep. Sounds about right.
I can understand that when you're a kid at that age and you love wearing costumes like that, because my nieces all had their like Disney princess phase and they wanted to wear those dresses all the time, and my sister was like, you can't, you're gonna ruin them, you have to take them off sometimes. So cute.
Every time my mom and dad tried to get me to change clothes, I threw a tantrum.
That's funny.
I think I went through a terrible twos phase at 4.
Yeah.
Oh, but yeah, favorite classic Disney movie. I love Cinderella too, though. I love all the Disney princess movies.
I know, I do too.
Yeah. The live action Cinderella is, I think, my favorite.
Yeah, that was good. And
then the Beauty and the Beast one is also a favorite with Emma Watson and
it was very
Dan
good
Stevens.
Too.
I think played the Beast from Downton Abbey.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, fantastic cast. Also, Stanley Tucci is in that one.
Love him. I love
Josh
him.
Gad, who played Olaf in Frozen, or the voice of Olaf. Yeah,
he's a versatile guy, man. He plays so many interesting characters.
Yeah, but back to Christmas Castle proposal. Of course, he goes to propose and they get interrupted in the library. Like when Ridley says, "Am I interrupting?" In my mind, I'm thinking, "Yes, you're interrupting."
Yes. I think we all were doing that. That's right. Go back out the way you came in.
Go back out, please.
Yes.
Although I did love Ridley. I thought he was a great character.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Again, that first movie is going to give you a little bit more back.
Okay, yes. I had to laugh at Madeline and Henry after they reunite with Olivia and they're meeting Alexander, Queen Patricia, and Ridley. Awkward, maybe just a little bit.
Yeah. Just a little.
You know, when the mom, Madeline, says, "Oh, I've heard about you, you know.
Goes,
you've been talked about a lot."
And something, right? Or something along those lines. I can't remember what she said, but yeah.
And Queen Patricia's like, "Well, good things, I hope."
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, and that's another part of the movie where I said it's so realistic, because those parents are like probably everybody's parents in a sense.
Probably.
Would say the things and do the things that they did. So that's what I thought was so funny about it. You know?
Yeah, I love that they had this like whole agenda of activities that they thought they were gonna do, and it's like,
nope,
that's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
Nope.
Nope. Like, in a royal family?
Nope.
there's royal duties to attend to.
Yeah.
I thought it was great though that they tried to,
Oh yeah.
participate.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think one of my top favorite scenes in this movie is at the beginning, and it's, once her parents have arrived, and Alexander surprises her with the Christmas nightcap with the hot cocoa and the sweets.
Yeah, that was a very sweet moment.
Mm-hmm.
Should have
I thought
proposed.
that was sweet. Haha. No pun intended, but the practical part of me is like, you're about to gobble down how much sugar. You're not going to sleep.
Right?
That's a good point.
Wait for the
Nightcap with
coma.
all that sugar in. You're not going to sleep.
Yeah.
No.
That's a good point.
Wait for the coma.
Unless that hot chocolate's laced with some whiskey or something.
Doubt it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
That was a really cute moment though. I thought that was
It
cute.
was. I love the idea of it. I don't know. I think I looked for a little bit more practicality.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
Movies, which that's me, but I would enjoy more authentic, like actual realness for some of these things. And that was like, you're not doing that. You're not going to bed all night. You're gonna be hopped up on sugar bouncing off the walls.
Yeah.
So.
But they're talking about her favorite Christmas, and she says all of them. And, he's like, that's cheesy. And she's just talking about how it's something her whole family loves. And that was a nice moment. And then she's concerned whether or not the Tarovian people will like her. And, he's like, where are you getting this? And if you can win over my mother, you can win over anyone.
That's true.
Yep.
This was a scene I thought was brilliantly done. The back and forth phone conversations with Alexander and Winston and Olivia and Katie.
Yeah.
How they cut that,
Side
back
by
and
side,
forth.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought that was good too. Nice little mix of the non-normal, I should say, or the normal movie, flow when you have people on the phone.
Yeah. And then one particular line that I'm remembering from that scene, I think it was towards the end, was when she was saying, I don't know if I'll be a good queen. And then it cuts to Alexander saying she'll be the perfect queen.
Yes.
So just how they cut that was just very
contrast
well done.
of the two. Yes.
Yeah.
I like the juxtaposition of it.
Yes. Great editing from the editor.
Yeah, definitely.
One of my favorite comedic moments when they're preparing for the banquet is when she's trying to remember the names of all the people.
Oh my goodness.
She's trying to get hints from Ridley.
Yes.
And that last time when he was like, it rhymes with slay and it starts with an A, and she's like, Ashley.
It's fine.
Yes, it was funny.
And Alexander's like, yes.
Could you imagine trying to learn all of those names at the last minute and all the protocol involved? No.
Yeah. Especially when she didn't know she was going to have to do it.
Right?
Yeah. I love how Alexander's like, yes, good job. And then before that, he's trying to mouth the name Ashley, and his mom turns around and he's like, no, I wasn't giving her a hint. Nope.
That whole scene was hilarious.
Yes. And the look on the mother's face was priceless. Like,
and then before that, when he's late and she's like looking between the two of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, okay, what's going on here?
Too much.
Another favorite moment, even though it got interrupted, was when he took Olivia to the special spot. I don't know what they called it, but that's where he was going to propose, and then they share a dance. Or they share a dance, and then he starts to propose, and then their phones both ring.
Yes.
Really?
Again, I could have just done it anyway. Like, should have.
Ignore the phone ringing. My goodness.
Right?
I mean, come on.
Yeah. And, oh my gosh. Yeah. I was like, really? Now?
Honestly, that scene, I wasn't sure because I thought at first they were at a cemetery. It was giving me like cemetery vibes, and I can't remember now what they said it was. You're right. I know it was something, and it wasn't a cemetery. And then it made sense to me. But at first, I was like, what are you doing at a cemetery?
And he had a record player.
Cemetery vibes there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, maybe he's taking her to his grandparents', mausoleum or whatever, and that he wanted to spend that special time with her to bring his family closer to her or something. Because I thought, maybe he would tell a story about his grandma or his grandpa, or you know what I mean, like the king or the queen, But then it wasn't that at all.
Yeah.
A missed opportunity.
I loved Olivia and Queen Patricia's conversation outside the castle. Now, this is after she runs out, after Alexander has tried to propose a fourth time.
Yes.
And this time in front of everyone. At this point, she's feeling unsure of herself coming into the royal family. I think a big reason was because of that conversation she heard with that couple about Alexander choosing her.
Yeah, she definitely started feeling insecurity there.
Self-doubt. That's what I was trying to say. Self-doubt. And Queen Patricia is saying that the reason she feels so comfortable passing the crown on to Alexander is because of her. And I love how she's like, I'm sorry, what?
Yes. Again, you need to see the first one to understand that line.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I definitely will go back and watch.
Yes.
And she's saying how when she first married Alexander's father, she also was thrown into the spotlight. So I got the impression that she was like Olivia. She was not born into a royal family. She married into the royal family, like Olivia will.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she did or not. I can't remember if the first one led us to believe that or not. Possibly. I don't know.
That would be my guess.
Yeah.
Just based on that line. And then Queen Patricia gives her encouragement about being queen, and she tells her not to give up on love with Alexander, which is where the quote I mentioned in the beginning of the episode, or the beginning of this review, came from.
That picture outside in that dress was my favorite
beautiful
dress
shot. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yes.
And then Madeline shows up and apologizes to her daughter. And then they hug. And I love how Olivia's like, Queen Patricia, bring it in.
That was
great. Your Majesty,
yes,
bring it in.
I thought that was really
out.
Hug it out, yes. And she, she looks around and she's like, okay, I'll do it. That was really sweet. And even though I thought she was the queen, that is, maybe a little too uptight, I do love how she came around.
Yes. Again, you'll have to watch the first one.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes in these royal movies, like the royal parents are very stubborn and they will not.
Set in their ways.
Set in their ways. That's what I was trying to say.
I mean,
I'm like, really? Come on now.
Yeah. But with all reason, I mean, they have to follow the guidelines and protocols.
That's true.
Schedules or whatever they say.
Yeah, that's very true.
Full for the crown.
Yes. I also loved Alexander, Ridley, and Henry's conversation about Olivia. So this was, the guy's side of the story. Or that scene after she declines his proposal.
Yeah, because typically you only see the female side if something happens. That's true. You don't really necessarily see the man's perspective of that.
And then Christmas morning with the family. And I can't go by in this movie without mentioning the proposal in the library.
Yes, that was so sweet.
That was really sweet.
Very sweet.
I think it was Ridley. He turns to, I think it was Queen Patricia. He was like, you know what this means? And, they're like, a royal wedding.
Yep. Exactly.
But now we need to see the royal wedding.
Exactly. Yeah, they have to do the royal wedding now. They just have to.
Yeah.
They have to.
I don't see why not. I mean, the fact that they spun a few movies out of that Destined, whatever.
Yeah, Destined at Christmas.
I feel like this would be ripe for.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we need a third one.
So in the scene when he proposes to her in front of everybody that's there, and she stops him, and she's looking at him, she's telling him that, I envisioned all her being overwhelmed from earlier and all of this. And I literally was like crying for her because she was doing the right thing because she was not ready, in a sense where she thought she wasn't ready. And I think a lot of it had to do with his mother in the first movie. And I'm not going to say any more for you.
Yeah.
I think that was weighing heavily on her. And I think in that moment, she did not want to bring him down. She started self-doubting, as you said. And that to me was a very emotional scene.
It was, yeah.
Affected me.
I agree. Even without seeing the first one yet, I agree.
Yes.
And I did feel bad for Alexander too.
Oh my gosh, I felt so bad for him, but I understood why she did it.
Yes, me too. Same.
I was like, oh my gosh. You just want to pick the pieces up and say it's going to be okay, I promise.
Yes. So is there anything about this movie you would change or you wanted to see?
I really wanted to see how the mom was going to decorate the Christmas tree.
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Besides the star on the top, that Olivia made.
I only have two other things, or two things I would mention. Maybe a little bit more of Olivia working on her book, but maybe that's just me because I haven't seen the first one.
Yeah.
And, that may be clouding my judgment a little bit.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. And then I thought it wasn't terrible, but I thought Madeline maybe overreacted just a little bit about the tree decorating.
Yeah.
And then questioning Alexander's family to Olivia.
I think for her, she was just so excited because she hadn't seen Olivia in a long time.
Yes.
And I think that she had this in her head that they were going to actually get to spend time together. Then when they got there and she realized they weren't, I think it was, she was really sad.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. It's understandable.
Yeah.
Maybe I just would have had her not react so strongly.
Right.
Well, yeah, I mean, and realistically, I mean, she obviously had some kind of expectation about decorating a tree, but on the other hand, have you zero familiarity with anything ever royal that would lead you to believe that would be an actual expectation to decorate a Christmas tree? Like, I don't know.
Without knowing it ahead of time, yes. Definitely not. I mean,
and obviously, I mean, you could live under a rock, not ever watch television or anything and not pay attention to that kind of stuff to know. But if you've watched anything for any length of time, you probably would think, yeah, I don't think I'm going to come in and like pick a tree to decorate. Like there's one tree for the whole family.
Yeah.
I did think of something with the tree though, and I thought this was again nitpicky detail on my part, but like, they showed different trees throughout the house, but the one tree that was focused on as the tree, I feel like that should have been like 15 feet bigger than it was for kind of looked like
for a royal tree, yes.
Tree. And I was like, I've in other royal movies, the tree is always sizable. And quite frankly, if you've ever been to the Biltmore in Asheville, that Christmas tree is like 20 feet tall.
Yes.
And that's just like a regular house.
Yeah.
A fancy house, but it's a regular house. Like, I don't know.
A new movie, The Royal Tree.
I don't know. Maybe I should be offering feedback on set design because obviously I'm way too
Oh my gosh.
I don't know.
I've never seen Biltmore at Christmas time, but
it's gorgeous. I went one time years ago after we moved to North Carolina and I was blown away. I mean, the house is beautiful.
It is
architecture, but there isn't a space that isn't touched by a Christmas decoration. I mean, the Christmas tree in the banquet hall is like enormous and it's a real tree. And they take months to decorate the house. And they've got all of these like old original ornaments from the time period. Or if something broke, I guess they probably have looked at replicas, but it is just breathtaking. It's beautiful, but then there's like Christmas trees in every room that you see. There's garland. There's just all over the place. I was blown away.
I've never been at Christmas, but I have been to Biltmore. It's been a very long time since I've seen it. I just have never seen it at Christmas, all decorated. I would love to, though. It would be so much fun.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, and it's a great tour too, not to digress, but like I was actually impressed with how much of the house we saw on the tour. Because I've seen like some of the Newport mansions, which are built by the same people, and the tours didn't take you quite in as many spaces as the Biltmore did. So I was impressed.
Yeah, we have Boone Hall Plantation here, which of course that was from the Civil War times, and they do Christmas tours. We have not done a Christmas tour, but we did do a Boone Hall tour. I think May of 2023 with one of my other podcast friends, Carrie, who is my co-host on Honest to Goodness podcast.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she came down to visit and stay for a few days, and me, her, and my mom did a Boone Hall Plantation tour. Yeah,
that's so cool.
And that's a beautiful home too.
Oh, I bet.
Moving on to ratings, what would you give this for cast out of 5?
The cast, honestly, I mean, the only movie I've seen her in, I think, a different one before, and him, I don't think I've seen him in any other movies, but the one from last year and now this one. Their chemistry together, I think they have great chemistry. So as far as the cast overall, I do like all of them. I think they all played a pertinent part in each character's role or whatever. I think they did really well. I would say 4.5.
Okay. Yeah. I gave cast and chemistry a 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah. Now their chemistry just for them two, I would give a 5 for sure.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I was saying. 5 out of 5 for. But yeah. And setting?
Tracie, what did you give them?
4 and 4. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's good.
The setting, I think they showed it in the very beginning, the castle, and that was great. I wanted to see more of the outside when it was lit up for Christmas. Maybe
that would have been nice.
Yeah, that's the only thing I would have liked to have seen differently. But I think all of the things that they did do were really good. Like Christmas themed, and the kitchen. I like the kitchen, how they had to go down the stairs. I thought that was really cool too.
Yeah, I gave the setting 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I think that would be about my number. Yeah.
Yeah. And storyline,
I really enjoyed this movie.
I gave it 4.
With seeing the first movie and it wasn't a Christmas movie, and then coming into this, it was a little different dynamic of transitioning from that type of movie that the first one was into this one. But I could see the transition. So I would say 4.5 probably.
Yeah, I gave it 4. It probably would be 4.5 if I had seen the first one.
Yes.
Which I need to watch, and I will watch.
Clearly, we've got homework to do because I didn't see it either yet. So,
well, I've got tons of homework to do. I still need to watch It's a Wonderful Life, which I have never seen.
I saw that once or twice, but it's been a long time ago.
Yeah. I've never seen A Christmas Story.
I saw that a lot.
I've seen that a lot. Yes.
I saw that in the theater when it came out.
And overall, for this movie, I gave a 4 out of 5.
I still would go like 4.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is so much fun. Cricket and Tracie, thank you for joining me for this movie review.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me and having
Of course.
Tracie. And I'm going to let Tracie talk for herself because I always do that to her. Sorry.
Oh, I don't care. I'm fine. I'm starting to fade, so it's okay. But yes, thank you for having us. That was
Of course. Y'all are welcome anytime. As I said at the beginning of this, you're 2 of my favorite guests or friends to have on and talk about these movies with.
Absolutely. It's always a good time with people. Absolutely.
Of course. I can't wait to have y'all back on again in the future.
Aww.
Yep, maybe very soon. You never know.
Yes, maybe very soon. Yes. All right, everyone. I think that wraps up our Great American Christmas Week 1 through 3 review. If you enjoyed this episode and are watching on YouTube, You can like this video and share your thoughts about the movies in the comments. If you are listening on Spotify, make sure to rate and review, as your feedback is always greatly appreciated. If you want to stay up to date on all of my episodes, you can subscribe to this channel on YouTube or follow along on Spotify, and make sure to turn on the bell so you are alerted when new episodes come. You can also find the podcast on Facebook and Instagram at Swing My Heart Podcast and Twitter at Swing My Heart Pod. Thank you so much for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in the world, and we will see you next time. We love y'all. Bye.
Bye-bye.